This video contains spoilers from X-Men, the animated series, and X-Men 97.
Morning, everybody. We are in the garage today because we're going to be doing some rattle can painting. Better. There we go. We're going to do some rattle can painting today. We're going to do a figure build today. We're going to be doing my favorite of the X-Men, Gambit. Yeah, Gambit. Gambit is by far my favorite of the X-Men. I've cosplayed as him. It is my favorite cosplay I have. I've met the voice actor Chris Potter, who voiced him back during the 90s, and I've met Adam Savage in while wearing my Gambit costume. Funny story about Adam. He mistaken me for Bullseye from the Deadpool movie and everything with Ben Affleck and everything. It's fine. At least he's in the universe. He's in the Marvel universe. If he was DC, I would be like, Adam, shame on you. But no, we're not gonna shame. We don't shame here. Chris Potter, I got a small story to tell you about him. Went up to Sharonville because we're in Cincinnati. Duke's closed for renovation, so we had it at Sharonville. So went up to Sharonville. It's his first and I think only morning. I think he was here. So he gets in. He's tired, like most people and everything. He's running around. He gets in late. Gets to bed at weird hours. He's tired and he's focusing on the job. So I get in. I pay for my autograph and my picture and everything because you have to pay for these things, guys. That helps them make a living. He's looking down at the table. He just got in. He's kind of groggy and everything. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm in my Gambit costume. I walk up in my best Cajun accent. I say, "Bonjour, mon ami." He hears that. He looks up at me. The smile that comes to his face, guys. Oh my, it's just priceless. Just kiss. And that was not it. There was a whole day where I was meeting people, taking pictures and everything. That was the best Comic-Con ever because you dress up in cosplay because you love the character, but then you have other people who see you and they love that character. So like, I want pictures and all this stuff. And how do you make your costume so I can make a costume? So that's how. It was just a great day. I've got numerous cosplays. And it's by far my favorite. I do have to redo the chest plate, I think, because it's like 8 years old. After going to cons and sitting in the bag and everything, it's warped, it's cracked, the paint's chipping off. So yeah, I got some work to do on it, but don't worry about that right now. Let's get to the main man we're talking about. We're talking about Gambit here. Gambit debuted he made a cameo debut in May of 1990 in X-Men 14. Just a cameo. Then the month later, in June of 1990, in issue 266, he made a full debut. He was in it much longer and everything. Gambit was born in the Bayou State of Louisiana. I know, why did I just do a Louisiana guy? I don't know. But Bayou State of Louisiana. His eyes are black and his pupils are red and everything. That scared his parents to where they left him on a hospital and everything for adoption, and they abandoned him, which sucks. Parents don't suck. But that helps lead to the awesome guy that he is. So Gambit was kind of adopted by the Thieves Guild, and there he learned how to use his powers. His power is the ability to endow an object with kinetic energy to the point where it will actually explode. That's his main power. But he's also a thief. He's good at acrobatics, martial arts, all that stuff. So he's in the Thieves Guild, learning to be a thief and everything. He's going all over the place, stealing stuff. He gets entangled with the Assassin's Guild, which is another guild that's working everywhere. So you're going to run into each other. He then, loses control of his powers. Starts to lose control of his powers to where he actually goes to Mr. Sinister. Yeah, that Mr. Sinister, bad guy. Sinister performs surgery on him to where he's able to control his powers. Something about removing part of his brain tissue or something. I'm not exactly sure how that is. I didn't see that issue. Didn't read that issue. Don't shame me or not for not reading an issue. There's thousands of issues out there. I can't read everything. So he gets control of his power. He goes back to the Thieves Guild. He's being a thief, and he befriends Storm. I'm sorry, asthma. He befriends Storm, and Storm helps induct him into the X-Men and everything to try and redeem himself and everything. He comes in and leaves every so often because they're all like, hey, you worked with Mr. Sinister, who's a bad guy, and everything. But at the end, he's kind of pardoned, and he's allowed full entry into the X-Men. Most of my knowledge comes from the animated series and the X-Men 97 series, which is on Disney+, which, if you guys haven't seen that, what's wrong with you? I'm kidding. No shaming here. No shaming. So yeah, spoilers. So everybody knows that Gambit is in a weird relationship with Rogue because she can't touch anybody without putting them into a coma and stealing their powers. So he's in this weird relationship with Rogue, and at the first episode, he kind of befriends and becomes Jubilee's older brother. Yeah, he calls her Petite. This is no place for you. Ah, there you are, Wolverine. You all remember that. Come on. It's a great scene. I enjoyed the animated series. I enjoyed the 97 series. But yeah, he's kind of her older brother kind of thing. Throughout the animated series, he kind of comes and goes as his own, as, hey, I'm a bad guy. No, I'm actually lying to these guys to help the team and everything. So he comes back. There's this whole Genosha arc for him, Rogue, and Jubilee go to Genosha and all this stuff. So go watch that and everything. But at the end, Gambit's a good guy. He comes back, he saves everybody, he helps out and everything. Now we're gonna move into the X-Men 97 series, latest one. Like I said, if you haven't seen this, any of that, pause, go watch it, and come back. Okay? I'll give you a second. Okay, second over. So, in the X-Men 97 series, that's the thing. Between the animated series in the 90s and X-Men 97, there's supposed to be a 7-month window. 6-7 month window and everything. Magneto comes in, he's like, I am now in charge of the X-Men because Charles Xavier wanted that, which everybody's thinking Cyclops is, but it's Magneto. Turns out Magneto and Rogue had a relationship a long time ago, and she was brought to him to learn to control her powers and everything. So in doing that, it was like a student-teacher relationship kind of thing, because they had a relationship. So, which they didn't talk, that happened before the animated series. And then they supposedly did the animated series, and now we're back to modern day, and it's weird because during the whole animated series, there was no inkling that Rogue and Magneto had a relationship. I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic. But back to X-Men 97, Rogue and Magneto pick up their relationship because apparently Rogue can touch Magneto and not hurt him. There's plenty of fan theories out there about it. Number one that I've heard about that's more feasible is that he can create a magnetic shield around him where she cannot take his powers or hurt him. But it still doesn't. There's a couple others out there. You guys can go on the internet and check it out. But because Rogue cannot touch Gambit, she can touch Magneto and everything. She feels that he should move on and she should go with Magneto. So Magneto and her go back to having a relationship. Gambit is heartbroken, but at the same time he loves Rogue. He wants the best for her and everything, and the team. So he's like, later when they go to Genosha, it's like, let's be friends and everything. Okay, so Gambit is basically destroyed, and then Rogue is off with Magneto. Okay. So then they go to Genosha, which has been established as a safe haven for mutants to go and everything. So in that while there, they have a gala and everything, and Gambit is wearing a black tie, white suit, black shoe, suit and everything. While there, um, Rogue comes to her senses and tries to go back to Gambit and everything, which is fine and everything. So she breaks up with Magneto, and there's this whole scene. So go, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Like I said, I keep saying, go watch it. Okay, so while there, they kind of reconcile and come back together, and it seems like everything's gonna be fine until the entire island is attacked by Wild Sentinel. This thing is supposedly bigger than Master Mold, from what I understand. It looks like a beetle with 3 giant sentinel heads on it, and it's able to deploy much smaller sentinels, the ones that you usually see in the animated series and everything. You know, they're the size of a building, but these are smaller than that one. This one's the size of a freaking mountain. So, battle ensues. They all are fighting, and Gambit goes after the main Sentinel, because he's a mega level mutant, which there's many levels for mutants and everything. He goes after a Sentinel, and he gets impaled, basically. And then by getting impaled, he's touching the Sentinel. So he's able to endow the Sentinel with kinetic energy to where it will explode. And in the last few seconds before the explosion, he utters the famous words that everybody knows. Gambit says, yes. Okay, so he utters those words, there's a big explosion, but he is killed in the blast. Rogue, at the end of the episode, you can hear Rogue, it goes to black, and you can hear Rogue say, I can't feel you, which is a just gut-wrenching thing to hear. So after the aftermath of this episode sends the X-Men on it sends Rogue into a killing spree. She's going around kicking the crap out of everybody, trying to find Trask and anybody who might have to do with the Sentinels and everything. So because she wants revenge for the death of Remy. So the X-Men go after her. Basically, they're trying to stop Rogue from destroying everything, and they're also trying to find justice for all the mutants that were killed in Genosha. Genosha, not Genosha. This isn't Star Wars. I'm sorry. So we are going. There's this whole thing, and it leads to the big bad of the season, which is Bastion. I'm not going to talk about Bastion. I have an action figure for Bastion. I'll go into that detail later. But we ended the season. The X-Men get transported to different places in time. The past, the future. Very few are in the present and everything. And you see a large hooded figure, go at Genosha and pick up a card. You hear him speak. We all know who it is. We know it's Apocalypse. So, the idea that I have, the fan theory me and my sister have, is that Apocalypse always has 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So, he picks up a card, so I think he's gonna bring Gambit back as Death, because there's a cutscene, or there's a piece in another episode with Xavier and Gambit being Death and everything. So, I think he's gonna be Death. And there's 3 other people you don't see in the timelines. They've disappeared when everything went white and the X-Men got transported through time. There's 3 other people. You don't know where Storm is. You don't know where Morph is. And you do not know where Wolverine is. FYI, Wolverine was badly injured at this time. Everything. Magneto ripped the adamantium out of his body. I'm sorry. I'm not. Spoilers there. Like I said earlier, go back and watch this. So that is where we are, guys. Gambit is possibly Death. That's why I think That's what my sister thinks. I got numerous other people coming up with ideas. So go check it out. Comment. Let me know what you think and everything. Long lead, I know, 15 minutes. I'm sorry and everything. But we're going to get to the build now. So let me turn you around. Okay, there you guys go. This is the making of the Genosha Gambit that I want to do. We're doing the black tie, black tie and white suit Gambit. Yeah. So the actual body is from Marvel. This is all Marvel Legends, except for this. This is a 3D printed, but it's Marvel Legends. This is arcade figure, everything from 2021. The shoes are from, excuse me, Jimmy Woo from the WandaVision show. I believe this was in 2023 these were released. The hand that I'm using today is from the 60th anniversary Marvel Legends release 3-pack, which included Psylocke, Banshee, and Gambit in their training outfits. The training outfits debuted in, I believe it was Uncanny X-Men Volume 1, number 275, I believe is what that was. So those are the main ones. And then we have this 3D printed head, resin 3D printed head, which we purchased off of Etsy. Links in the description for this stuff so you can see it. Pictures so you guys can see the stuff. Some extra stuff here from other Gambit figures that I have, but we're not going to do anything with that. I want to show you this though real fast. This is card comes out and everything. Of course, it's the Ace of Spades. There you go, sits right down in there. So that's what we're doing today. We are going to be doing a Gambit build. Let me put you back up. Yeah, that's what we're doing. I gotta set a couple things up and everything, but we are soon going to get to it. So give me a minute, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so the first thing we're doing, like I said, we are doing the Genosha black tie, white suit Gambit. We're using the arcade body, to which I've got some water boiling because I have to remove his shoes and put Jimmy Woo's shoes on him. So I gotta heat it up, pull those off, put those on. But while the water is boiling, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut away this this jacket because I have to paint the white or the green shirt white, and also Gambit in his suit is not wearing a 3-piece suit, so I'm going to remove this I want to remove that, so I'm going to cut right there just like that. There you go. So we're going to take this off somehow. Hopefully work for me here. Let me see if I can do it like that. Sometimes if you pull them back like that. Yes, there we go. Okay. Okay. So the green shirt is going to be white. I'm going to make a bow tie later. That'll be out black foam. Right now I need to go in and I need to cut away the vest that he has, which is very easy actually. I got a new blade in this. New blade in this knife. So very carefully going to go in and cut that away. Very carefully, take your time. There's that side. There's his jacket. I might have to clean it up a little bit, but no more vests, which is what we want. Okay. Say the water is boiling upstairs, so I will go upstairs and get that in a second. Yeah. Just very carefully skimming off that that vest that he was wearing, because Gambit's not wearing a vest. Alright, so the next step, that's probably boiling by now. I'm going to be taping up this, and here, and here, and here. This will be primed, and then it will be painted white. And then we will clear coat it to protect the white, because when I go back in to put this shirt back on, I don't want to wear that paint off. So give me 1 second, let me go get that water, guys. Alright guys, so here we are, we're back. Boiling hot water. These have a forward rocker pin in them so that you can maneuver and everything. But we have to heat that up in order to pull these shoes off. So we're going to put that in this hot water. And truthfully, I'm going to take Mr. Woo's shoes, put those in. Let that sit for a minute, let that warm up. It will allow the plastic to become more malleable to where I can pull those shoes off and put the new shoes on. These giant tongs here. Not tongs, pliers. I think I got these off of Amazon. I'll try and put a link in the description for you guys so you can find these. I'm just going to warm this up. Like I said, this is boiling hot water, guys, so be careful. Don't burn yourselves. Get those a second. Yeah, that's extremely hot now. I'm going to pull Woo's shoes out too real fast because there you go. See? This came off. Heat them up, and then you can pull them off. Let's see, this is the... Let me see now. This might need to cool down and let it harden a little bit. That shoe's on. That shoe is on. Come on, come on. It's a little bit weird, I know. Trying to get this rocker into there. I was thinking maybe I wanted to leave the shoes hard and the pin, but no, I think I wanted to do it this way where they're both malleable. Dropped it. Okay. Put that back in the water for a minute. Just hot water, guys. That's all it is. Okay. Dry that off a bit. I just cracked my knuckle. Let me back you up some so you can see what I'm doing, kind of. You kind of have to force it in. Come on, go in. Your buddy went in. Go in. Put both of them in for a second. it's best to do this in little few in seconds and everything. It's like, you know, the old saying, measure twice, cut once, and everything. And plus, there's another one that says it's easier to take off than it is to add. Yeah. The small. Let me get all that water out. Did not go in yet. Go in. Go in that time. Okay. So now Gambit has his shoes. There we go. Okay. It'll tilt, but it won't give you. You can't really move much. But that's okay. Okay. Save your stuff, guys. Don't throw it away. You can use it for something else later, most likely. Okay. So that's done. We're going to move on to masking off the arms and the waist, and we're going in the flesh here, and we're going to prime the green. So Gambit has been masked off. We're about to paint his shirt white. I've masked it off. I have gone in with a Scotch-Brite and roughed it up a little bit. I'm gonna prime it. Then I'm gonna prime it, and then we're gonna hit it with this heirloom white I have, and then we are going to clear coat it. I'm clear coating it because when I put the jacket back on, I don't want to scratch off any of the paint. So the clear coat is an extra layer of protection. That's the plan. Also noticed that his lapel, or not his lapel, right here in his pocket, he's got a green handkerchief or a piece. That needs to be white. And these two buttons here are black. Those need to be white. Because on Gambit, the only thing that's not white is his bow tie and his shoes. He is wearing, like, at the beginning, I think he was wearing like a purple scarf or something. But I think he lost it or something. But I'm not doing that. So that's where we're at. When you guys come back, this will be painted white, and we will be actually in the work area to start brush painting the flesh parts. So his face, his head, face, and his hand I have to do. So, hey guys. So it's been a couple of days. Yeah, we moved into the work area so I can paint the flesh tones and everything because I don't need to do that in the garage. But I've actually already painted the flesh twice, everything, and I've not liked the color. I am my own worst critic. I think that's how it is for most makers and artists and people in general. Like, I am my own worst critic, and I did not like what was coming out and everything. I was trying to use these Vallejo flesh tones, and even though what I was making was coming out good, it didn't match the other parts of the actual figure. So the head sculpt and the hands and everything. So I didn't like it, and like I said, even though it was good, people were like, it looks great and everything, I was like, I don't like it. So I've already gone back to primer once, and then yesterday, which was Tuesday, I put the first layer of the flesh tones on, and I was like, no, that's not it. So I almost broke down and got online, and I found a flesh tone that a lot of guys use. It's Citadel flesh tone, basic flesh tone and everything. And I almost bought it. I know I'm getting close to the camera. I'm sorry. I almost bought it, but then I was like, wait, I think I have a flesh tone that I bought from somewhere and everything. So I went looking, and it wasn't a flesh tone that I had. It's coral. It's Craft Smart's coral and everything. That's why I have. And it's really, really close to the hands and everything. That's why I'm using I'm sorry I did not go in and show painting this. Like I said, I did film painting it, but then I didn't like it, so then I found the coral. I did the coral and everything off camera. So, but let me turn you around and show you the lineup of. So here's the lineup of colors we're using. I got white because I had to go over the. I had to go over this again. Yeah, the heirloom white that I used on the shirt did not take, and you can see I literally put my thumbprint into it after like 3 days and everything, because I did this Friday, let sail the weekend because I was doing stuff, and then Monday I came in and I put a thumbprint in it. It didn't dry, so I went in with this Craftsman white, put that on it, and truthfully, this white is closer to the actual suit white, so I'm more happy about that. But that's how that is. So we got the white for the suit and different hues and stuff. Got the coral for the skin tones, black for the eyes, red for the iris, and then these are what I'm using for the his hair, because I'm going off of the X-Men 97 release of the character and everything. They already put out a action figure of him, and his hair is more of a reddish than a brown. So I'm doing that. So that's what I got. I've got the coral on his face, and I've got this brown on. So I'm going to go in and do a wash over this, and it will turn it red. Like I said, I painted this twice already, and his hair, I did this for his hair, and it came out the way I wanted it. So that's how I know that this is going to work. So I'm going to do a rust wash over his hair, and then we can move in and start knock everything over. Then we can add the black, and then the red for his iris, and yeah, that's where we're at. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to do his iris, or his eyes real fast, because his eyes are black, and then get a little bit of that black off there. I don't need a ton. Kind of hard to tell. I know I'm putting too much in, but I'll touch it up with the coral later. Okay, I know, huge blobs. I know. Quit yelling at the screen. I'll touch that up later, but let's go in and let's do the rust on his hair. Come on, open up. Get a little bit of that. I get some of it off. Like I say, this is just craft paint, guys, so it's water based. Very easy to trim down. You got a hair piece there, or hair tie, so I'm gonna have to tie that up. Black later. He's coming along right there, guys. I'm sorry I didn't show me painting the flesh on, because like I said, I did this a couple of times. I was filming everything. I didn't like it. So later I went back and I found the coral, and I was just like, let's just put the coral on, because I didn't even know if the coral would work. I was ready to go back to primer for a third time. yeah, I'm losing track of how many times I've gone into primer for this job. A little bit of rust. Yeah. So there you go. Let me show you what colors we're using for his hair. And so this is honey brown. And then we've got, this is actually just rust. This is Smart Testers rust. Yeah. I got all these tester paints I was gifted in like a 30-pack about 5 years ago and everything. I'm still using them. I love them. They are amazing. They have different hues and everything. So yeah, I think we got them from Menards. So I'll try and put a link in the description so you guys can go find them and everything. But yeah, that's where we're at. Here is I haven't done anything to this. So this is the first hand that I've done for him. I haven't painted it or anything, but you can see. So the idea when I first painted this, let me flip you around. When I first painted him, sorry guys, I know I'm real close to the camera. I know, I'm sorry. Personal space. I do military models and everything, so a lot of the guys that I do, I want them to look tired and war-weary and everything. And so I usually do like several washes and everything and coverings. I use the Valeos for the skin tone, and then I do several washes of rust, and then I do more of that, and then I bring up the high points and everything. And that makes, with the rust, it makes it look like there's blood underneath of the skin. And then at the end, I go in and I do a dark wash and everything. Well, for this, I'm trying to make him look, he's in a suit. He's in a pristine suit. I might do an episode where I do another one where he's in a more war-torn suit. If you guys seen the episode and everything, you'll understand. But at this point in time, he's pristine. He's nice looking. He's all nice dressed up in a suit and everything. So I don't want him to look war-torn and everything, which is what I'm used to painting. So when I first did this, I went that avenue and I looked at the body that I had, and I looked at the skin tones, and it did not match at all. So I hated myself and everything. So I went back to primer, and then yesterday I started doing it again and everything, because that's what I'm used to doing. And it's like, no, you need to go a different direction. You just need a skin tone. You don't need blood underneath the skin. You don't need him to look tired or whatever. He's not in combat. He's at a party in a suit. Just put him in a flesh tone and let him go. So that's why I've gone. Like I said, I've used the coral and everything for it. This is Craft Smart and everything, coral. So that's why I've used. It's really close to the actual skin tone from the manufacturer on the hands and the face and everything. So that's what I've gone with. I know this is a bit of a talk and everything, but that's where we're at. We're going to let that dry, and then we are going to touch up around the eyes where I put that black, because I put too much black in. And then we will do his the red for his eyes and everything. And then we will I might put a little bit of flesh tone, some of the layers to make it pop a little bit. But that's where we're at right now. So let it dry. We'll be right back. Okay, we are moving on to the final piece of the puzzle. I have Gambit's face, or Gambit's head and hand painted. I have the body here. I had to add more white to that. Now we are going to make his little bow tie. I've got a piece of foam here, very thin foam. Let's see if we can make a bow tie out of it. And there you have it, guys. One Genosha Gambit in black tie and white suit. I really enjoyed this build, even though there was some problems and everything this week. My hands were shaky, so I had problems when it came to painting the head sculpt. I couldn't mix paints to save my life because I tried to match the face to the plastic and everything. I tried doing it with these Vallejo flesh paints. Couldn't do it. Went looking for an actual flesh tone that I thought I had. Found this coral, which is almost, like, it's very close, so close. Yeah, that's what I used. Other paints we used. So originally, I had to paint. So originally, Arcade's shirt was green, so I had to paint that white. I used a Ralcan heirloom white to do that, and I let that dry, and then later came in and I clear coated it the same day, and then I put all this away for the weekend because that was on Friday, and then I let it sit Saturday and Sunday. Came in Monday, and I put a thumbprint right in the middle of his shirt. It had not cured at all or something. I do not know what happened. So in the end, after a little bit of sanding and everything, I went in with just this Craftsman Craftsmart white, and truth be told, that white matches this white better, so I'm actually happier with that. Coral for the flesh tone, black and white, black and red. This is This is stop sign red. So for his eyes and his hair tie is black too, of course. So for his hair, I went for more of a rust reddish brown kind of color. So what I used was this honey brown for the base coat, and then I did a wash of this Tester's Craft red rust red. Sorry, ADD's mess with my head too this week. But yeah, that's what God gave me this color and everything that's really close to the X-Men 97's color of his hair, so that's what I wanted. I didn't just want him to have a dark brown and then his eyebrows be black. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe and comment. Of course, comment. I'm always up for constructive criticism. Always up for hearing what other people are building and everything. Gives me ideas and so I can grow as a maker. So please comment. Please subscribe and like. It will really help the channel grow and everything. Go check out my Etsy and my eBay. I got links in the description as always. I've got links to other makers in the description as always. I try to help other makers out. So yeah, go hit those links, check them out and everything. I think there's 2 artists on on all my videos. It's Alicia Miles on Facebook, and then it's Mike Champagne. He's an awesome artist, awesome. So go check him out and everything. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, comment. I will see you guys next time.